Welcome to Midweek Moments. I'm Stephen Wright, Senior Pastor of Dahlonega Baptist Church, and I'm coming to you from my garage at home today. The question is, why am I doing this? And the answer is because it is in my garage where I store my golf clubs, among other things. Did you know that I have a love-hate relationship with the game of golf? And the reason for that is simple. I did not grow up playing golf. Now, I loved sports as a child growing up. Two of the sports that I really loved as a teenager were the sports of tennis and basketball. In fact, it could be the middle of July. It could be 98 degrees outside with sweltering humidity, and you would find me on a tennis court swinging my tennis racket in the middle of the day because I loved the game of tennis that much. Come the fall, when it rolled around, I was in the gymnasium shooting hoops with my friends, and basketball was the only game that I could think about from the month of November to the month of March. But golf, I just never played it. In fact, I never really hit a real golf ball until, believe it or not, I was in my early 30s. And the only reason I did is because a couple of ministers invited me to play golf with them one day, and I reluctantly accepted their invitation. And let me tell you, it was a disaster. I didn't know how to swing the club. I didn't know how to hit the ball straight. Most of the time, I didn't even know how to hit the ball off of the ground. It was an experience that I wish I could forget. But you know, I don't take defeat very easily. And so I thought about that day, and I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and find out how I could take some golf lessons and learn the basics of the game of golf. And that's exactly what I did. I took some golf lessons for beginners, and I learned the basics of the game. In fact, I was, after those lessons, able to get out on the course and swing the club. I was able to hit the ball semi-straight. I was certainly able to hit it off of the ground. I was able to play the game of golf in a kind of semi-good way, I guess you could say. But here's the problem. It has been years since I have played golf. It has been years since I have practiced on a regular basis. And so, if you were to get out and play golf with me today, you would probably think to yourself, yeah, you know, he knows the basics. He knows how to swing the club. He knows how to hit the ball. But then when you looked at the score at the end of the day, you would think to yourself, this guy is just a beginner. And there's a reason for that. I don't play very often. I don't practice very often. And if I want to improve at the game of golf, if I want to really apply those basics that I learned years ago to my golf game, I have got to practice those basics on a regular basis. I've got to play. I've got to practice in a routine kind of way. It's got to be a part of my lifestyle. I'm not going to get better any other way. You know, it's so unfortunate that for many people, their spiritual lives are a lot like what I just described with the game of golf. Maybe they learned the basics years ago, but it's been years and years since they have applied those basics to their lives. Prayer is something that they participate in only when there is an emergency. The Bible is read occasionally at best. A worship service is attended only when there is not another conflict on the calendar, and they come to the point where at times they scratch their heads and ask themselves why they are not where they want to be spiritually, why they don't feel like spiritual people. And the answer is a pretty simple one, because they're not applying those basics to their lives that they learned years ago. Right now, I am preaching a series of sermons on the basics of life in Christ. We are, as a church, becoming reacquainted with those basics, with who we are as followers of Christ, as well as what we have been called to do. If you want to become reacquainted with those basics, if you want to begin relearning those basics and understanding how you can, from this day on, begin applying those basics to your life, I want to encourage you to be a part of this series. It's going to be an extended series through the month of June. Will you come out and join us? Will you take steps to become the person, the victorious Christian that God desires for you to be? Thanks for joining us for these midweek moments. I hope that the rest of your week is a great one. God bless you.